every single one of their professional sports teams, if they're, they don't have a hockey team in Houston. But if they did, one of the stars would just want out. Right?
Right.
George Springer's not coming back. I mean, the Astros are going to lose George Springer. You're putting him in Citi Field pretty much.
Just get ready for
Uncle Stevie Cohen's billions.
I'm spending other people's money right now.
Slice off the honey bun and get yourself George Springer. Right?
I like your obsession with honey bun.
I'm leading to the top story. I mean, the NBA has a couple of stories outside of the obvious of what's going on with the pandemic, but one of them is like, where in the world is Kyrie Irving? That's number one. That's in Brooklyn, New York.
My fantasy basketball team wants to know that.
I'm sure. And then in Houston, at least Kyrie was smudging in Boston, with the incense and whatever the heck he was doing to clear all the negative thoughts out of the way when he returned to Boston. The sage, he's burning sage, walking around the perimeter of the parquet floor in Boston. And then, then he's disappeared on the Nets. They have no idea where he is. Nash isn't talking to him, but that's kind of come out of nowhere the last couple of weeks. Harden, we saw coming. We saw coming when he didn't arrive on time, when, prior to the season, Westbrook wanted a trade, and then Harden was thinking of having a trade or demanding a trade, and then he didn't, and then he showed up late. Westbrook gets the exit visa. Wall comes in, John Wall comes in, and the idea was, hey, the two of these guys worked out in the same way that Harden, Kyrie, and Durant worked out, and that Harden wants to be with the Nets, and it's all working out. They got a new coach, new general manager and grocery shopper is Philadelphia is the new home of Daryl Morey, and we all saw it. I mean, Harden showed up, to use the Dan Patrick phrase, big in the community.
Big in the community.
He did not show up seemingly in shape, but he's James Harden, for crying out loud. So after another loss for the Houston Rockets last night, it's so rare you see a player. After the Lakers they dismantled them. The 17-point losses does not indicate they're not nearly as close as the object in the Lakers' rearview mirror as the final score indicates in this game.
I was watching that, man. It was not even close.
Okay, LeBron's shooting threes and turning to his teammates like it's going in.
It was great. He was doing the Steph Curry. It was awesome.
I know it. He wasn't doing the swaggy P. The ball went in.
Yeah.
Ball went in. Okay. So after all that, seeing the function that is the Lakers, the dysfunction that is what's going on with the Houston Rockets, personified by James Harden. This is a rarity, kids and the millennials out there. This is a rarity to see a superstar athlete who wants out basically say it. Here you go.
We're just not good enough. We don't obviously chemistry, talent-wise, just everything. And it was clear, like I said, these last few games, they just, from the beginning of the game, they were just aggressive, veteran team, obviously, championship team, and, one of the best teams that we have in this league. I love this city. I literally, have done everything that I can. This situation is crazy. It's something that I don't think can be fixed. So, thanks.
I don't think it can be fixed. Yeah, thanks.
At least he said thanks.
Yeah. Houston, we have a problem.
That's right, Jim Lovell.
Well done, Mike.
Just go to the podium and a shirt says, I want out. That's it. I want out. It's obvious.
Anthony Davis, that's all, folks.
Well,
right.
Anthony Davis, and this part of it, did you see Sterling Brown go at Anthony Davis last night? Did you see? I don't know how much of the game you saw.
No, I watched it a little bit.
Anthony Davis is under the basket, okay? And Brown is on the transition, and he's going right at Anthony Davis and attempts to dunk on Anthony Davis, who proceeds to reject him. And then they zoom in on Anthony Davis, whose look was, you got to look it up on Twitter. Anthony Davis gives this look to, no one in particular, sort of like, what is he thinking? He was offended. Like, you're going to dunk? You're gonna dunk. You're like, I'm here. I'm standing here under the like. You're gonna dunk on me.
Right,
Like,
I'm gonna retweet the GIF at Rich Eisen Show if you haven't seen it.
oh my
right
God!
now.
I mean, you right?
It's amazing.
He's just kind of looking like, what's this guy
amazing.
thinking?
It's amazing.
Kind of like when Conor McGregor was at a presser and someone said something to him and he turned and went, who the ook is this guy?
Exactly. Like the essence was similar. Yes. So Harden is just—he's got to be thinking, I'm in a no-win situation here. But John Wall, who's new to the program, and he must be thinking, okay, I'm going to Houston. I'm finally out of Washington, which, as you've seen, is still they can't do a damn thing, even with Bradley Beal scoring 90 points a night.
I know.
Okay, so he's probably thinking, I'm going to Houston. I'm out, finally out. Now I'm coming here and in the middle of all this stuff. I guess Wall is kind of giving the same look that Anthony Davis gave to Sterling Brown. He's giving that in the direction of Harden. This is what Wall had to say.
End of the day, a lot of guys here want to compete at a high level. And like I told everybody tonight, I told the guys before, when the 1 through 15 guys all on the same page, they commit, they know their role, they know what they want to do, they know what they want to get out of this, that's the win, you all will be fine. But when you have certain guys in the mix that don't want to buy in all as one, it's going to be hard to do anything special, do anything good as a basketball team. I've been on those teams in my 11 years been in the league. I've been on a team like that my first 5 years where it was all about me, not about the team. And that hurts. And it brings everybody down. So when we can get all on the same page, we can be something good here. And we can't dwell down on it because it's only been 9 games. Like, come on, man. You want to jump off the cliff off of 9 games? There's a lot of basketball still be played.
Voice of reason, John Wall. John Wall, voice of reason. John Wall, voice of Rockets.
Wow.
John Wall is more of a tenured Rocket in terms of being all in than Harden. I mean, that's a fact. In the same way, by the way, do you know who the most tenured coach, we mentioned this the other day, in the NFC East is now? It's Ron Rivera. Because he was hired January 1st. Yeah. And then the other 2 first-year coaches in Judge and McCarthy were hired after him. And whoever's hired by the Eagles will be in last place in terms of tenure in the NFC East. It's the same thing. Like, this guy's fresh here. He's new. Now he's the most tenured. Got to count on him. And what does Harden think he's going to accomplish? Like, right now, in the middle of the pandemic, someone's going to blow their team up and bring Harden in? Like, do you think the Nets he wants to go to the Nets. Nets have got their own problems. The calls are coming from within the house up there. Yeah, in the middle of all this, let's figure out how we can bring Harden in here. Like, where else? The Sixers are cruising when they have enough players to play.
Right.
Honestly, you know what I mean? Like,
and then
where do you go?
Miami doesn't have enough healthy players to
right
get rid
now,
of either.
like, where does Harden think this stance is going to get him now, right now?
Right.
Because that's the reality. This is the boots on the ground.
Yeah. All his leverage was before the season.
Again, I know you guys think I'm crazy. Who wants him? Bring him in right now. Okay, so you got enough games between now and April to get things straight? Let's blow your team up. Blow the team up and give up a ton of draft picks right now when everybody's trying to figure out what the protocols are, how to get everybody in safe. I know everyone could walk and chew gum at the same time in the NBA, but what's the answer? What does he think is he going to accomplish? I don't know if he can, force the situation other than to make it as bad as possible. I feel for all those in Houston that want the buy-in right now. They ain't getting it. It's not coming. He basically said it's not going to work. Out. I feel bad for Coach Silas.
Yeah, right. You have to.
He's getting his shot. There's a bunch of people getting their shots.
His dream came true.
They would love to get James on the program here. I don't know. The owner has got to make the Rockets great again. Mara. So here we go. I don't know what the answer is right now.
Either.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.